Chelsea get their season off to a win away at Goodison Park for the first time in 4 years. Not a spellbinding game, not a scintillating game, not the kind of match that's going to live long in the memory of Chelsea fans. But after a fairly traumatic for some, messy for others, or up and down summer with a poor preseason, it's how you want to start the Premier League campaign with a win. Some flashes of brilliance from the likes of Koulibaly, both defensively and moving the ball forward. Raheem Sterling looks the absolute real deal. The striker option, though, has to be resolved for Chelsea. Has to be resolved. Midfield, key issues there as well. De Jong has to be on that agenda, but more to come in the transfer window. But 3 points, a clean sheet, and a resolute Thomas Tuchel Chelsea back again.
Absolutely magnificent.
Welcome back to the Terrace. It's the end of Saturday's opening Premier League fixtures. Chelsea won, Everton nil. I think it's the first time in 4 years that Chelsea have won at Goodison Park, and the first time in 11 years that Everton have lost their opening game of the season. So a few records broken there, good and bad in every single direction. Frank Lampard rocking them muffin top love handles as well today, I see. Guys, he's enjoying Christine Brakely. I can't remember her surname. Her cookie must be good because Frank has literally turned into Fat Frank. But listen, look, Chelsea fans are not going to be writing home about this and saying, oh my God, we're back. We're going to win the league. We look absolutely sensational. No Chelsea fan is going to say that. However, it's a solid start, clean sheet, rarely troubled. A good save from Mendy at points. Good performances from the Thiago Silvas, the Koulibalys. A nice return. I know we had a kind of ceremonial appearance at the end of the season, but from Ben Chilwell. Reece James looking solid. More fluidity, more speed in play is needed from this Chelsea team. But after the traumatic end to last year's campaign where it felt like it was falling apart, the changeover of ownership needing to start with a solid foundation. I don't think it's a bad start for Chelsea. I really, really don't. That 3 points, that clean sheets will go a long way to making Chelsea fans feel, at the very least, comfortable over the course of this weekend. We have a super chat here from Adrian that says J5 slows down the team too much. DM needed. Tuchel needs to coach set plays in the final third as well. Coach these attackers. Bring on Edwards plus 23, please. What is Edwards plus 20? Oh, bring on Michael Edwards in 2023. I think I get what that means. I kind of get where you're coming from. I do kind of get your feeling and your emotion around it. I do. Look, I'm a Man United fan, so it doesn't matter to me, but I don't feel as down in the dumps as some Chelsea supporters seemingly do. I thought it was an okay performance. There isn't too much to speak about in terms of this game. Is there too much to read into in terms of this game either? No, I don't believe that there is. I don't think that Chelsea fans should be panicking. I don't think that Chelsea fans should be talking about winning titles. There's more players to be purchased in this transfer window. Wesley Fofana. A lot of this super chat here is asking for a DM. You are looking at Frankie de Jong. Get out of the notion of a powerhouse breaking up a play DM. There are more than one way to skin a cat. Two of the most successful and most decorated holding midfield players, stroke DMs, are Michael Carrick and Busquets. They're nothing like the kind of quote unquote traditional DMs, but they're more successful than them. That is what Thomas Tuchel is looking to do with him. Comment here says Sterling and Cucurella were good. Yeah, I thought Sterling looked very good today. I mean, Sterling, of course, got a little bit. He got a little frisky on the pitch at one point. He's got a good arch, you know. A lot of ladies would kill for an arch like that. I'm telling you. A lot of ladies would love that little, the little bend. They'd love that thing. But look, Sterling played well tonight. There's no doubt about it. He did. Cucurella looked comfortable when he came on. And Cucurella is better than Ben Chilwell. You also don't spend £62 million on a backup player. Nobody ever has. Nobody ever will. This is a first team individual that they want to bring into the new team. Simple and as straightforward as that. That's all I can see. Broya looks so promising. He will replace Kai. Again, when he came on, I want to check the minute he came on because I swear it was about 80. I could be slightly wrong when he came onto the football pitch. I want to check here. Uh, at 75. But it was just the enthusiasm. He has what Kai Havertz doesn't in terms of energy, running, pressing, trying to be a force with his opponents. And look, I think that's why I'm saying Chelsea fans have got to relax. Conor Gallagher hasn't been introduced properly to this team yet. Broya's going to get opportunities. Kukureya's come in. Sterling's got to settle. Koulibaly's. That's 5 new players to this actual first team system. And you're probably going to sign 2 more. That's 7 first team players that will make your team look very, very different going into the majority of the season. Only thing that matters is an ugly W is the W. And look, listen, this is what rivals are going to say. I can tell you what rivals are going to say before they say it. Typical Chelsea, couldn't break a team down, couldn't create very many chances. The irony in that is they created 14 opportunities on goal. 14 opportunities. If you actually go back and look today with Spurs, who battered the team 4-1, they only created 18. You look at the opportunities on target. I haven't even looked at yet 5. Go back and look at Tottenham's game today. Sometimes it's a little bit like, sometimes you can have less attempts and score more attempts and score less. So Spurs, had 10 attempts on goal today. 8 were on target. So yes, they were a little bit more clinical. They're a little bit more accurate. But they only created 4 more goal-scoring opportunities. They created 4 more opportunities tonight than Arsenal did last night, and Arsenal won 2-0. It's conversion that's needed. It's players when they're in those positions to strike, taking their opportunities. And look, the jury remains to be seen whether Kai Havertz is going to step up to that clinical level, and whether it's all just eye test, whether it's all just ability, and whether it ever comes to fruition. But the opportunities are there. We saw them tonight with our own eyes. It's just about that conversion. Let's have a little look at some more of these comments. Sterling feels like a Hazard replacement. Look, Sterling is never going to be technically as good as Eden Hazard, but I do believe over a 4 or 5 year period, he could outscore stroke assist him. On an outputs level, he could do better, but he needs more around him. There's no doubt about that. Web Creative here says Spurs will destroy Chelsea. When was the last time Tottenham went to Stamford Bridge and destroyed Chelsea? Someone give me 3 examples of Chelsea doing Spurs doing that in the last 25 years. I'd love to know. I'd love to know where that confidence comes from. I really, really would. So Timo Werner here says, inject them 3 points. Absolutely. It's an ugly win for Chelsea, but I just feel like the opening day of the season, you don't want to be that team. I just don't believe you want to be that team that loses. Liverpool got away without losing. Chelsea have played today without losing. Arsenal haven't lost. Spurs haven't. You've got City and Man United. And we talk from a top 6 perspective because with the original top 6 channel. And that's what you're hoping for now is that I'm hoping as a Man United fan, we're not the team that falls away. And I'm telling you now, as sure as eggs are eggs, that's exactly the feeling going through the mind of City fans tonight as well. Guy in here says 1 out of 38 games down, clean sheet with 3 points. The race is not for the swift, but those who can endure before the World Cup and Christmas period. It's a great take. And I keep saying this. Chelsea right now, I'm having in 4th place. That's where I'm predicting them. Depending on who else Chelsea sign will change my mind. They've got a world-class manager, already an excellent squad. They've just got to add a little bit more to it. Players have to step up. Mount was poor. James, awful corners. Sterling, Kukureya, Silva showed the level. Nice to win, though. On to the next game. See it with the emojis running deep there. I'm liking you guys using the new Football Terrace emojis. Thank you. Thank you. Moose Wizard says, glad to see Kukureya, Sterling, and Koulibaly debut. Attack needs work still, but I think our defense is stout. If we sign Fofana and De Jong, I don't know how to pronounce make that word. Is that few or who or ooh? Oh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, listen, Chelsea are onto one this year. I'm telling you. Lots of players dropping with cramp. Terry just showed our conditioning isn't up to scratch at the minute. Well, listen, there's more than one way to skin a cat, though. Let me just say this: teams approach preseason very differently. You'll see the way teams substitute in games, how much longer this team plays than the other. I wouldn't want to be coming into the start of this season with a World Cup in the middle with my team peaking right now. I would want my team with more to come. Just like generally speaking, I mean, uh, Italy winning the Euros is a little bit of a caveat to this, but it's like when you go into a tournament, I kind of like a team to start well, but still have more to go. You don't want to peak in your opening few games. You don't want to start this season in peak condition because it means you're not sustaining it for the rest of the year. There needs to be some leg room to grow. You got the win. Yes, it was ugly, but that's the most important thing for me. We own London. Know your place, Tottenham fan dogs. I've never heard anybody called a fan dog. What is a fan dog? Am I just old here and don't get it? I want to know what a damn fan dog is. Terry, do you think Chelsea play boring football? See, I wasn't bored. Listen, I think people over egg it. I think people watch Chelsea games and they just tweet, it's boring. I'll give you an example. It's a theory, not an example, actually. If Peter Andre wrote a new song, but Adele sung it, people would say it's good. I mean that sincerely. If Peter Andre wrote a new song and Drake sung it, put his beats over it, that's a good song. Oh, the lyrics are beautiful. Oh, I can really feel the deep meaning of those words. That's all it is. Chelsea are just tarnished now with playing ugly football because everyone goes, it's boring. I guarantee you a fact. More people. This is barring Man United's game. This will be the second most watched game this season on television globally. Premier League globally. It ain't that boring, is it? Terry, that was complete crap football. You clearly know nothing. And nearly 260,000 people disagree. I don't really do that. Listen, it's all about opinions. I think that Chelsea, did I say it was scintillating football? Did I say it was edge of the seat, nail biting, riveting? Oh my God, this will go on and live for the ages. No. Was it boring and horrible? No, I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the game. I watched every minute of it. Can Chelsea improve? Yes, they can. They can improve in some big ways. But was it a dirt dog performance? Not on your Nelly. Not on your Nelly was it as bad as some people are pretending that it was. Terry, Chelsea will beat Spurs. Well, we're going to preview that next week. Let's have a look here. Chelsea's football is dead. That's a man like Lang and Sweet. I don't know if it's that bad. I actually find Man City's football more boring. Do you want to know why? Because they don't give anybody an opportunity. Therefore, it's not a spectacle. At least with the way Chelsea play, teams have a chance. As a neutral, I enjoy it because there's opportunities, there's openings. And without it being not end to end, but to and throw, I don't want it to be like that crap game, that American netball game, basketball. I don't want it to be like that. Or, that soft boy rugby, NFL, where it's like end to end. I want there to be an element of dominance in it. I'm sorry if anyone likes basketball or the NFL, but can't be world champions when you play against yourselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want it to be the biggest and the best sport in the world, which is football or soccer. But yeah, no, it's one of them ones. Terry, how can you say Man City are boring? I didn't say Man City were boring. I said Man City's games I find more boring because they're so dominant. There's no ebb and flow, and you need the ebb and flow. Glad we won. I must say Everton looked good. Everton had energy tonight. Everton tried hard. Everton pushed hard, but Everton weren't good. I'm telling you now, Fat Frank, and he is Fat Frank now because that man got muffin top. Told you he got muffin top. He's getting sacked or relegated, one of the two. He ain't up to the job. Haven't won away at Everton in 5 years until today. That deserves a little horn there by my team that I twerk for, Chelsea. Go on, my second team. My second team, Chelsea. I'm being facetious, but someone will take it seriously. All right. We got Alex backstage. We got Latimus Prime. We got Chesney. We got man like Daniel. I like Daniel. He ain't got his camera on yet, though. I like it when Daniel's camera goes on. I'd like to see where he is. I'd like to see what he's up to. This man is the man of international mysteries and mischief. That's what he's up to. This time last Saturday, we were all getting mangled in a pub. This Saturday, I'm just getting mangled at home. But this is what's great about my job. I get to drink alcohol while working. How many of you can drink at work? living the life until the liver packs up. But you know what? You got to die something, can't you? There we go. Terry, are you drunk? Now, somebody asked me that earlier. I'm really not. I'm just having a bit of a bubble today. The Premier League's back. I love football. Best league in the world. Best sport in the world. What is there not to be happy at? It's a beautiful Saturday evening. Have a nice little Chinese takeaway later. Watch match of the day. It's going to be a thing of beauty. I'm introducing somebody to the first time ever to match of the day tonight, and I'm very excited. I'm so old school. It's unbelievable. First it was beans and black pudding. Now it's match of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them ones. Let's have a little look here. Curtains. Daniel is by the curtain. I can confirm Daniel is by the curtain. The curtain is there. The curtain is there, my people. So don't you worry yourselves about that. I'm going to bring a little panel out tonight, I think. I'm not going to do calls. I'm going to bring a little panel out tonight. I'm going to bring panels back. It's going to change the background to make sure that it fits. I don't know what this one says, though. I always get this wrong. I always put the wrong background on because, oh, no, there we go. Got it right. Ladies and gentlemen, smash that like and that share button. Time to bring the panel out. Let's do this. Look at that. I got you all in time and everything. I'm really impressing myself. All evening. Chelsea win. Joint top of the league. What we saying?
Who goes first?
So I just start off.
Go ahead.
What I like to say is, all you rival fans, keep it coming, man. Because weren't they the same people who were laughing at us just a few months ago when we lost to Everton and got battered with last week equators? Poor mistakes. Like, just relaxing. This isn't Chelsea in their fullest form, playing the best football of their life. This is literally Chelsea trying to win a game and moving on to the next game. That's just who it is. Just standard. They're the smaller team. We're the bigger team. Got new signings. Players aren't fully fit. We got battered by Arsenal and whatever just 2-3 weeks ago. So I didn't like the performance, but I was expecting something like this anyway. So I'm just happy with points. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wow. I want to throw this out there, guys. I'm seeing quite a few Chelsea fans, and of course the rivals say dead football, going nowhere, need 3-4 more players, unhappy. What are we saying to this? I mean, we say we. I'm a Chelsea fan. Go on.
I love when people hate Chelsea. That's the best when we are, actually. We always hated under Abramovich. We're all with oil money. All before that, now you cannot say oil. Let's find something else. Like, I don't care. I like when we are hated. I like when we are underdogs. I like it. The only thing I wanted to see out of today is W. I don't care about performance. Performance is, it's especially when you go into the Everton, where is a boogie team that we hadn't had problems for 4 years. So I mean, like, look, whose position is better? What position is better now? We or Liverpool?
I was about to say the same thing.
Like, look, what position you would want to be at this moment? Oh, they played such a beautiful. No, they didn't. But that's not the matter. Matter is, at the end of the day, it's a 3 points. I was actually more excited to see the new signings, how they do, how we cope, how we link up. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, especially, and somebody I think you said, Terry, that Manchester City is boring. For me, most boring game is actually when Pep was at Barcelona. It's so boring when you're attacking, you're pressing, you're watching one-sided all the time. It's boring to me. It doesn't, like, some people like blue colors, some people like yellow colors. It depends on your personal opinion. So for me, it was out of, you can see that Chelsea is out of shape. That's all it was.
I agree with that. Like, some people like things thick. Some people like things thin. I'm a thick person myself.
I'm a thick person too. Just throw that out there.
Just like my brand new hairline. Thick. It's what I'm liking. I hear when I want to go to Latimer's Prime for a minute here. Laddie, what you done to your hair, bruv?
I got a haircut.
Bruv, you look like a Malteser. What is that on your head? Oh, you're joking.
Sharpay.
Pull on your hair. Is it real? Pull on your hair.
Why do you shave your hair off, bro? No, do you know what I'm thinking when I think, you know,
Terry, do you think the Elvis was better?
No, I do. I like when Prime had the manga haircut. That was my favorite Prime haircut. But it just reminds me, you know, when expressions always calling Don Robbie like Malteser. You're like a young Don Robbie with that hair, brother. You are. You really are. I'm loving it.
Hey, I'd love his bank account, so hopefully one day.
This is true, bro. This is true. What did you make of the performance tonight, mate? You're always very positive about Chelsea, but there's a lot of negativity around your club at the moment.
Yeah, look, we did what we had to do and we got over the line. Like, people thinking there's going to be a complete change when we still have players there from last season that we know aren't good enough anyways. Like, I think it's just quite delusional. Chelsea fans who are kind of wishing for Tuchel's downfall without outright saying Tuchel out, people talking about Bowley and saying stuff like he's just playing football manager, doesn't know what he's doing. Like, if you can't see what we're trying to actively do, whether it's by the players we're trying to target and stuff like that and build for the future, then maybe that's on you. Maybe it's to do with your like intelligence and stuff like that. But for me, we played this game. I thought we would probably score more goals. I predicted 3-0, but like we got over the line and we won opening day of the season. Was it pretty? No. But like for me, I don't care about like particular styles of football and how flashy you look. I just care about getting the result at the end of the day and doing what you need to do like long term. And that's what we did. We won. Like maybe in contrast with Liverpool, they probably played brilliantly today, but like they didn't get over the line and win. And that's actually what matters. Havertz, like this guy needs to kick on this season. This whole thing of he starts slow and stuff like that can't be going on. Like he costs way too much money and there's way too much like hype and praise about this guy for nothing to come about. I think Koulibaly played brilliantly. It was a brilliant debut. Sterling played well, but when you're playing with other attackers that are just not on your level, whether consistent wise and ability, it's going to be hard for him. He's going to struggle. Cucurella came on. He was decent as well. But for me, it's a good win. And we move on to next week where we play Spurs, a tougher opposition, a better opposition. And we just take it from there slowly. For me, it's not about necessarily playing brilliantly. I don't really care. So long as we just get these results and we just start going. I don't want us to start performing brilliantly now. And then when we need to actually kick on in December, January, February, we burn out and fall apart again.
Yeah, I hear that, mate. I do. And Daniel, from your point of view, I mean, like, Koulibaly started and so did Sterling, but you've still got Cucurella to introduce properly. Gallagher hasn't really been introduced yet. Bro, you're still going to start. And you are still looking at De Jong. You're still looking at Fofana. You kind of feel like some Chelsea fans are kind of overreacting, almost playing up to rivals somewhat in terms of the way they're panicking about your season already.
Definitely, man. 1000%. I mean, like a lot of even what you were saying, I hear it more from the rival fans. And sometimes because maybe one or two Chelsea fans might agree with rival fans' opinions, then you start to almost think that that is the running theme or running narrative that you necessarily do this and necessarily do that. Like, it's good now that the narrative of Chelsea being boring is back. That's a good sign. That means we are on the right track, because obviously with this supposed boring style of football, we're getting the results that we need. And we got a result today, which I think last year we would have drawn or we would have lost that game because of the nature of how things were going up last season and things weren't going our way. I thought we defended resolutely. There were moments of concern at times, but I think we defended really well. I do think it's going to take some time, but I don't know about everyone else, but I saw little moments. I don't think everyone's fully fit. I don't think everyone's fully sharp, but I liked Sterling. Sterling looked really good. I think that if we can get everyone else to a place, to a wavelength where things are making sense, then you'll see the best version of us. When Cucurella came on, I thought he looked really good, and you almost have to ask the question, because Chilwell looked off the pace, and obviously he needs to get minutes. He's just coming back from a long-term injury. I mean, that he could lose his place in the side. Do you know what I mean? And it's no fault of his own, but it's just because Cucurella has come in and looks good. I thought Koulibaly was so strong, was solid. Obviously, going off with cramp, it's normal. I mean, he needs to get used to the pace of the league. But bar that, for 70 minutes, I thought he was outstanding.
The Cucurella, the Koulibaly stuff. All I've heard for the past month is
Koulibaly. Yeah,
past it. Syria attacks.
He made the goal today. He made the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
He had strength. I mean, he even pulled someone over and was so good at hiding it that he got away without a booking. Like, I just looked at him today and thought, this is why 2 years ago he was being lined up against him and Van Dijk as the best two centre backs in the world. And like, I'm not going to go that far and say that in terms of Premier League standings. He played one game, but I looked at him today and just thought, that's what an expensive centre back looks like. That's what one is worth his money looks like. I thought he looked great today.
By the way, sometimes it was so hard to. Everton was prepared to low block. They didn't look like they were low blocking, but sometimes when they were in the box, I counted 8 players in it. It's hard to break them. I don't know.
It is, but I think what we did show is we showed some intent, and there were moments where I thought, yes, there's potential here. Rather than last season, I think we were putting so many balls into the box, we were just crossing aimlessly. Kukurea put in a pinpoint cross to Sterling, where if not for the block, we would have scored 2. It would have been 2-0. Little intricate passes where Sterling was, and look, at the end of the day, it goes to show how much we needed in our attack in terms of the improvement, because Sterling was at the focus of a lot of good that was happening. Once Mason Mount kicks into gear, I think Mason Mount can connect with Sterling. Once Broya kicks into gear, I think he can connect. Yeah. I think even you look at Kai Havertz, you look at some of the other attackers that we have, if they can all click into gear, just find something that allows them to all click, I think it can really be something positive, because just last thing, Chesney, like I think it was great. Like, there's so many things you can pick on and say, you need to do this, need to do that, need to do this. I just think we need to take our time, get the results whilst the transfer market is still going on, see what squad we have available to us. Because when I look at the strength and depth on our bench today, as Chelsea fans, we can't complain now going into the season. We have a strong, solid squad, and we're still looking to make additions. And Hudson-Odoi couldn't even make the squad today. Like, so that shows you how strong our squad is. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Hudson-Odoi.
Well, he's saying that he couldn't even make it.
So couldn't make the squad, as in he wasn't selected.
Oh, I'm glad that he didn't.
Before I go to Chairs, I want to say here, congratulations to the newlyweds that are watching. I'm glad you're spending your honeymoon watching the Football Terrace. That's humbling. Enjoy it. There's no better entertainment out there. Trust me. Chairs, what are you saying? We're going to go to the super chats in a minute. What are you saying, Chairs?
I was going to say, this narrative of Man United will suit De Jong more. Based off this game and the position we played, I think De Jong would be an upgrade on Jorginho's position, because the one good play from Chilwell, even though he wasn't fit, was a quick fizzed-in ball from Koulibaly, which he wasn't getting all game. Kante is not really a great passer of the ball. He could drive the ball, but he's not really adding that creativity in midfield. And we just need that driver from the midfield. So I think De Jong would be an upgrade. And we got Kovacic, but he's always out and whatever. So this narrative allowed De Jong would suit Man United more, because
you think De Jong is going to be playing 6 at Chelsea?
The thing is, I think he might do a 3.
But he might, but that's his position, Yeah. And it's if you're going to drop £80 million on a player, you play him in his natural and best position as much as possible, I think. But I got one here for David. This is from Harris, who says, can someone tell me what top team starting 11 Mason Mount goes into and makes them better? He's not Chelsea quality. What are you saying, David?
I think people overreacted a bit too much to the first game. Obviously, he didn't have a great game, but I'd still think he'd go into most teams and improve them in the top 10. I think the only team I can think of right now who we wouldn't make in the top 10 is probably Man City, maybe.
This is growth from you.
If you play him in 8, he's not
a winger.
If you play him as 8.
If you look at Liverpool squad, he'd start in their midfield. You go in Tottenham, he'd start for Tottenham. You go in Arsenal, he'd start for Arsenal. You go to Leicester, you start at Leicester. You go to who else is the top 10?
They ask about top teams. Don't put Arsenal in there.
But I'm saying if you go by the top 10 in the Premier League, he starts for 9 out of 10 of them. So I don't see what the point is. I genuinely think it's a first game. First game, it's like did we play well? No. Is there room for improvement? Yes. Are we going to improve? Yes. Are our players fully fit? No. So what do I have to worry about? Once they get fully fit, once they're up to speed, I think we're stronger this year than we were last year. And last year everyone was saying we're going to win the league. So I'm very unbothered.
Koulibaly's, but I know a lot of Chelsea fans don't want to. Antonio Rudiger was good, but your manager made him better. You brought in a better defender in Koulibaly. You've got a better attacker in Raheem Sterling. You've now got a better left back in Cucurella. You're adding Gallagher and Broja back. If you end up with Fofana, by the way, Fofana is an improvement on Christensen. And if you end up with Frankie de Jong, barring peak Kante, he's better than all your midfielders. I just don't. I'm not even trying to like twerk and bend over like Raheem Sterling did today for Chelsea fans. I'm simply stating I don't understand the kind of negativity towards Chelsea. It makes no sense to me.
I'm bemused how you look at a team and think we're worse than Arsenal. I don't see how that happened.
No,
that's fine though. No,
It's hope.
I don't see.
No, but the point is,
I don't see Arsenal like. Let me finish. I don't see Arsenal and Spurs having made enough signings to improve past us. I just don't see it.
But you know what it is? It's because they made so many signings during preseason, and we only signed 2. Well, Cucurella now 3 players. They think that they've massively improved, and everyone's like, "Oh, if Chelsea don't sign any," because
who said that? Arsenal.
What?
Arsenal fans.
Arsenal only signed 3 players.
No, but they signed early in the season.
No. But I mean during the actual preseason and stuff.
Okay.
The point being, like everyone's like, "Oh well, we got all our signings done." Like if Chelsea don't sign anyone, because at that moment in time we've only signed probably 1 or 2. Like if Chelsea don't sign anyone, if Chelsea don't make any improvements, Chelsea are going to fall behind. We've all massively improved, and it's like just this big over exaggeration. Like Chelsea will be fine. Like we'll end up finishing in the top 4, 3rd or maybe 4th. It won't really matter. We'll be fine. Like it's not this whole big worry about a thing. Come the end of the season, when we do finish 3rd, then everyone will switch and say, "Oh well, you were expected to do that anyway. Of course you were. You signed Koulibaly and Sterling. You were supposed to finish 3rd." Like
it's not even about that. I think for me, look, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is it's not necessarily about the 3rd or the 4th. It's about how much are we closer to our goals, to our targets. I expect a trophy this season. Definitely, whether it be the FA Cup, Champions League, or the Carabao Cup, I expect a trophy, and I expect us to close the gap. We always talk about this in football. Everyone's talking about 3rd, 4th. It's how you do it. And if we finish 3rd to, I don't know, Liverpool, because with 6 games left, we just suddenly maybe lose 1 game, which takes us out of the race to finish 2nd. I don't know how it will happen. Then that version of 3rd isn't as bad, because it means that we put up a good title challenge, we put up good competition towards the end of the season. And I think, look, we are capable of doing so. And I think if we are able to bring in the likes of Fofana and De Jong and whatnot, then you have to say that is an expectation, not just something that we can wish. And really and truly, I can love Thomas Tuchel as much as I want, but he still has expectations as a manager of Chelsea, and he has to live up to those expectations. We're still yet to see how the new regime will work in terms of the hiring and sacking of managers, whether they're going to continue that culture or whether they're going to give managers longer. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to for me, with what I expect us to do from now till the end of the transfer window and going forward, I expect us to not necessarily win the league, but to definitely put up a fight and challenge. It's how we finish, not necessarily where. It's how we finish. And obviously, of course, you have to finish in the top 4. But yeah, it's how.
I totally agree. I'm going to go through some super chats here. First one says, Terry, I love the show, but the NFL is king. That's your opinion, my bro. Check who gets the most views, the Super Bowl or the Champions League final. That's all I'm going to say, bro. We are
none of it including World Cup.
Well, the World Cup's our biggest game. That's even bigger, bro. Haven't won away at Everton in 5 years until today. I think that's something that's also key to point out. Up the Chelsea from Dan Cole. Sterling looking fire. Love the show. Thank you, Dan Cole, me old mate. Appreciate that, bruv. Havertz is not a false 9. He's a false footballer. Look, I think he's still young. He's got time. This is the season. Do you guys feel like this is the season, though, where he's really got to go to that next level now? Is this the one?
Yes, absolutely.
It depends what you mean by next level. What's the next level for him?
Scoring.
I just mean a casual improvement. Double-digit goals.
Well,
last year he got double-digit goals.
I'm talking sort of like
in the league.
I'm talking 25 plus goal contributions. That's what a 75 million pound attacker's got to give you. Like 25 plus goal contributions in a season minimum for a player that value.
He can even give me 20 plus goal contributions. I don't think he did that last year.
I think last year we got 18 or 19. I think
it was close to it. It just didn't go over the line.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think, but then we have to also be like very very like coy in how we assess it, because we know that Kai Havertz didn't have the greatest of seasons, and everyone can agree with that. And I think that if we analyze today in isolation, I don't think he was the best. I do still think he can kick on, but what it comes down to is when you look at the minutes that Broja played when he came on and what Kai Havertz did in the whole game, I think that there was more to Broja. Do you get what I'm saying? Than what Kai did. I'm not necessarily saying Broja is better. I'm not saying.
I don't know. I don't know about that one. I would say is like.
No, you can disagree. It's just my observation, and I'm just saying.
I hate what you're saying, but the thing is, Broja comes on. I think 10, 15 minutes left. He's caught pace. I hear it, but Havertz. The thing is with Havertz is if all the attackers, other than Mount, aren't doing their thing we expect them to, is more than just an individual player. So like our attack has to improve, and then with Havertz is still getting the same chances, then I'll sit there and go,
no, but the reason why I disagree with that is because we can all sit here and agree, and just to clarify before I finish making this point, we all sit here and agree that Sterling was our best attacker today, right?
100%.
And he's someone who we brought in externally, and it's not like he's any different. He's coming to this side, to this stale and all the adjectives that we've used for the attack. He's coming, and he has been the best attacker first game of the season, first night right, and he's probably our best attacker in pre-season, and he's carried that on. So for me, what we need to see is an improvement in his game, and then you will see a collective improvement in the attack. It's not one or the other. It's Kai has to improve himself, and then you will see an improvement in the attack all round. That's how I see it.
Here's my 5 cents about Kai Havertz. I love Kai Havertz. The question for me is, when we are playing him last season, the whole drama with Lukaku, we brought Lukaku, all of a sudden he became the second striker. Lukaku played, then he made the documentary, then we played Kai Havertz again. So it was not really consistently we trust you and stuff like that. That's why I think he came with the interview saying, I love when my manager give me a trust, including when I'm not playing really well. Kai Havertz said it. That's one part. From what I remember about last season. Another last season is we are really predictable because our left side was dead. So all the attack was going through the Reece James when he is available, with Mount and Kai Havertz. Left side is dead, so that's put another pressure on specific two players. If we improve on the left side, that takes away the pressure from the right side and evens up in the middle. That gives Kai Havertz more, movement up front. If we considering him to be consistent number 9, if we sign in striker this window, striker, doesn't matter who, it gonna bring me another question. So we going back to what are we doing with Kai Havertz? Are we waiting for his development? We're not expecting him to be a 25 player score. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you're gonna count on the striker that we bringing in, or we actually gonna trust and see what Kai Havertz gonna do.
I get what you're saying, but then if I ask you a quick question, what to what end? Like, where does that end? So
well, I know, but that's the big question. That's not my job. If I could make those decisions, I would.
No, but I'm saying, what do you think though? What
I think? I don't think him. I think he's too young to hold. For example, people saying like we want to introduce youngsters into Chelsea. It's always hard when you're fighting for the title. You can't bring the young thing and wait for them to develop. You need score now. You need 3 points now. So when you kind of like young kids, it's hard for them to be developed that quick. So I tell you the truth, I don't know. It depends who on the striker we're gonna bring. But at the same time, I kind of want to see where we're going with this Kai Havertz false 9. But it's not me. It's for Tuchel. If I could make that decision, I will be at the Stamford Bridge as the manager. You see what I'm saying? So it's just my opinion.
Oh, listen, we've had Roy on the show recently. Roy thinks he's got a better talent idea than Tuchel, but like some fans do think that. I want to go to some super chats here. First comment. Oh, this is the best comment of the night. Terry looking like David Beckham in that lighting. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Not even a super chat. You just pulled that up.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. I was like, I'm putting that out there, bro. Loving it. Now, bro, you're all day up top till they sign somebody. Look, maybe they will. Right. This super chat here says, when I say top teams, I'm saying Man City, Liverpool, Bayern, Madrid, not top 10 in the Premier League. Mount is not good enough, is what Harrison
based on this game.
Can I answer that or try to answer that?
Well, yeah, I mean, David obviously agrees. That's your burner account, David, I assume.
My thing about Mount, first of all, I still think he's number 8. I think he's a little bit advanced number 8 if there was me. But people think that all of a sudden all the flickery and stepovers are just sides what the team is. There's a reason why managers keep going for the Mount players and any kind of thing. You don't realize it, but in every team there is a Mount in it. The little Mount is in every team, in the top one, in the top teams. There's always a Mount over there. Not so talented, but the ones that actually do the work. You just don't know about it. Just if you're watching through stepovers, you will never find it. But that's what
I hear that. Daniel sees all Chelsea Twitter and social media crying out for a centre forward, and then he randomly says we are great and can't complain on. Sorry, can't complain. Or we complain all day. I don't quite know what's being said there, but that's what the super chat says. Kaya and Werner are overplayed flops. Good result. I would like to see a higher press. I think that's fair. I think that's fair, to be fair. Cameron says, bro, you're over 29. Is 29 Kai Havertz's number?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I don't look at those things. But okay, thank you very much, my guy. I appreciate it. Nathaniel here says, Tuchel. Tuchel must have said something. He says, we could use with some more quality players. We are on it, but I will not tell you anything. Fofana and De Jong incoming. Gritty win, but got a W. Yeah, listen, I've said it already. If you guys sign Frankie De Jong, you are going to witness for the first time in Football Terrace history this alpha still man crying on camera. I'm going to cry. And I know Daniel's going to be screenshotting that, recording that, and everything. 100. I will cry. I will cry. I'm going to cry my eyes out.
I want to come on and do. Ooh.
Do you know what's painful about it? Like, I've been called out all year. No, he ain't leaving. He ain't leaving. He's leaving. He's going to leave. But I've said in every video, if Chelsea or someone like that comes in, we're screwed. And the fact you're coming in, that's the worst bit. I've said it for 86 days. If Chelsea come in, we're screwed. And now
if Manchester City comes in, Chelsea's screwed.
Yeah, Man City ain't got the facilities for this. They ain't got the facilities. They spent their money on Calvin Phillips.
The perfect hair guy.
Chelsea look bang average. Tuchel is overrated. Come on now. Champions League winner, league title winner.
Every as well.
I cut my farts is his name. He fancies Colleen, so I don't know. You've got to challenge somebody's views if they fancy Colleen. That's the way I look at it. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, Colleen. Tuchel needs to change his outlook. Players aren't given a role, plus have no idea where to be and what to do because there's no plan. DM needed. Do you guys feel like Tuchel has no plan?
Honestly, this thing of I don't get why football fans think they're smarter than managers. I don't get it. Like, people are like, I can't see what's going on, therefore it's not happening. It's like, no, you can't see it because you haven't studied to be a manager. Like, you just don't see it.
I also think what's funny as well is that, I mean, I've seen it on the TL, and when people ask me questions, I'll be like, don't ask me questions that you don't really want me to, like, you don't want to hear the answers to. You want me to agree with the opinion that you have already, like, preempted in your mind. Like, so for example, a group of Chelsea fans, in fact, said to me, how can you look at this team? And even Leah's tweeted it today. I just couldn't be bothered to respond. How can you look at this Chelsea team and think that we need an £80 million centre-back in Fofana? Those same Chelsea fans would say that we should be spending our resources on buying Rice. How does that even make any sense whatsoever? If you think that the attack is the issue and not the attack is what is needed, what needs crazy amount of investment, not the centre-back area, why is it the DM area that then needs the crazy amount of investment? What does that change necessarily to the attack.
Will,
That's what I'm just confused about.
I see the point. I see the point. I see the point. It will free up some of the creativity a little bit.
When has the DM ever freed that up?
Well, because it's gonna bring the Jennifer in the conversation. I don't want to do that.
People think because if we buy, say, a Rice, it means we'll play a 4-3-3 and we'll add in an extra attacker, and all of a sudden we'll be scoring 1,000 goals and stuff like that. Like,
there's a couple of moments in the game when we are. What's his name? Sterling was about to take off, and Jorginho had the ball and he didn't pass it to him. There's the reason why he doesn't do it. It's because it's a high risk, high reward. If he passes it, he makes it. It could be a goal. But another thing is, if he passes and it doesn't reach and we get counter, then he got caught with the pants down. It was instead of Sterling with the bend over, it was gonna be Jorginho was the one to be bent over in the transition. You see what I'm saying? That's why I think they've changed.
Hang on, Jorginho is the third best player in the world.
I'm not standing behind that thing. It's individual award in the team sport. I don't rate it.
I would. If we focus back on the topic at hand, anyway, the whole idea of Chelsea of this, Chelsea of that, like we really won't know what Chelsea truly are till the transfer window shuts. So for me, the most wins or the most amount of wins we can get till that point is the most important thing. Where we are in about 5-6 weeks, and we can assess. Obviously, there's going to be an international break. There's about 2, I think, before like the real official one for the World Cup in November. That is where we will know where we are as a team and whether we have improved or not. You have to factor in that we could still get injuries and whatnot. So, look, I'm not worried, man. I think today was a classic example of a game where last season, again, as I reiterate, we would have either drawn or we would have lost that game with the chances and the way that Everton played. I actually think Lampard, for all his tactical deficiencies, I thought he set his team up well today in terms of the fluidity in the front three with the guys that he couldn't really have with the injuries that he has. I thought it could have been a bogey situation for us, but we handled it well. And I think we defended again. I think we defended well. It's just that, again, that attack, that same old chestnut that we keep talking about, and that will take time, and I'm willing to give it a chance.
I also just think the team needs a bit more balance. I think Chilwell is still not 100%.
Yeah, he's not 100%.
And you saw like when Cucurella came on, it looked a bit more balanced. I think the midfield
he was afraid like going into the physical thing.
Yeah, he didn't really take anybody on the whole game. Cucurella comes on. He made like fizz passes to Kante. Then he got an assist for Sterling. And then instantly we see a difference. And people are like, oh, why'd you get Cucurella? You got Chilwell.
Question for you boys. How are you feeling about Spurs next weekend?
They're Spurs. No offense to them, but they're still Spurs.
We're home. Are we at home?
We're at home. At Stamford Bridge.
At the bridge.
Another boogie thing. We're poor last season at Stamford Bridge.
I look at Spurs, right, and like the way Conte set up his team today is like their signings are still not quite ready to like start in their games, and I look at their squad and I go, we definitely have the ability to beat them. I don't see why we can't. And I will always back Chelsea over Spurs. Like we are just 9 times out of 10 we're better than Spurs, so I just back us.
Yeah, no, and it's not even to say that we should be disingenuous. I think everyone and their dad can agree that Tottenham have improved as a side. They've got a much better manager, in fact, a world-class manager. Exactly. So they've improved, and they won 4-1 today without even some of their new signings, and they were able to give some of them debuts. But I still believe that we have the better team overall. And I think that we are able to take advantage of Spurs at any given moment. So I just think, look, at the end of the day, Spurs fans are going to tell you why they think they're going to win, and Chelsea fans are going to tell you why we think we're going to win. And I think Chelsea are going to win next week.
Also, I believe
there's already Spurs fans. Sorry, Jez. There's already Spurs fans though who have like already forfeited that second game because it's for them. They always use the Chelsea anyway, so they lose. It's
I don't know what Spurs fans you're talking to. Every Spurs fan I know thinks they're going to leave.
Spurs fans are buzzing. Spurs fans are
for
buzzing
playing us. Yeah.
I'm buzzing right now. I got
No,
They
the thing is, yeah,
signed a championship
You're
right back
buzzing
then.
on a different.
Yo, hit this up. I don't understand how, like,
Somewhere in the world, the Gal is buzzing too. They're winning the league.
yeah, Arsenal fans as well. I don't get how, like, Arsenal and Tottenham signings have made everyone, including their fans, think that, like, the signings they made will jump them way above Chelsea. Even next week, people are like, we should be afraid. Based off what? Perisic, Spence. And you see our bench today, and it's just like, I don't get how Arsenal Tottenham signings have like caveated us that much where we should be afraid of them. Does that make sense? Because last season, I swear we like the Arsenal game, like home, that really counted. Like, we really got top 4, but like, we were competitive against the top 6 the whole season. So I don't get how like we should be afraid of Arsenal and Tottenham and all this narrative. It's just waffling it. That's just my thing. But, and Terry thinks Arsenal will get third.
No, well, if you actually watched my 4 shows, I've said third. But if you guys sign for Fana and De Jong, I'm going to reassess where we're at.
I think that's a cop out. I think that's a cop out.
Even if we don't sign them,
hang on. How's that a cop out? How?
Right. So my thing is, hold on. No, wait, no, Ches. My thing is, so Terry, you know, when you predict things, you account for how you think the team will improve, injuries, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Why can you not account potential transfer business? Because it's also part of your prediction.
Because that's not a given. Injuries, bad refereeing decisions, etc., will happen irrespective of who you sign. If Chelsea sign for Fana and De Jong and Anthony, I'm just throwing names out there before the end of the season, they're a different squad to if they sign none of those 3. If Man United, by the way, sign De Jong tomorrow, then we sign Shishko, then we sign Gakpo, and then we and fucking Sangari. I'm just throwing 4 random names. We're not going to sign them all. Maybe none of them. If we sign those 4 and then we look great in our first 3 games before the end of the window, all of you will change your opinions on Man United this window. Like, I think it's transfer. It's not a cop out.
No, but let me say why it is. The reason why I say it is because, look, we understand what you have to do, and you're one of the best hosts on social media, granted, and we know this. However, exactly. You are. But at the end of the day, you have to blow smoke up Tottenham's ass. You have to, because they have made shrewd business deals and they have a world-class manager coaching them and doing what they need to do. The same thing with Arteta and the propaganda that his documentary has done for him. It's done wonders in the public world for him. However, the point is, if you are to really and truly factor all these things that we're talking about, why are you not factoring in the fact that if Kane or Son gets injured, you're really saying to me that Richarlison is going to supplement those goals that were needed?
Bro, my prediction is Chelsea.
You think Spurs come fifth?
Chelsea 4th.
Oh, is it? Okay, I thought you said Spurs 3rd. I don't know.
No, Arsenal 3rd. I put right now. But if you,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't see.
Exactly. I can see Tottenham. You're gonna give more
that's
credit.
Even worse.
But Arsenal, that's.
I can put. Do you know what? You can even click me. There is no way. There is no way. Maybe we need to do a stream where we put a bet on it or whatever. Okay. There is actually no way, no outcome. There's no reality. You know, Doctor Strange, where he thinks about like the 1 million. There is no reality where Arsenal Football Club finished 3rd this season.
None.
Guaranteed. None.
I tell you a reality. I never thought I'd see Daniel in a line dancing shirt. But listen, I'm just saying right now, I think Arsenal will come in 3rd. No cap.
Well, Terry, are you overly impressed?
Can I ask you something?
Hold on. Sorry. Wait, sorry. Are you overly impressed by Arsenal signings?
I'm very impressed with their signings.
Why? Which ones?
Because Jesus dropped a masterclass yesterday.
All 3 of them.
Which ones? But which ones? Like, speak on them.
Vieira.
Jesus. I think Vieira is going to be a revelation. Jesus is going to score bare goals. And look, Zinchenko was poor yesterday, but he will improve. Don't worry about that. Patrice Evra was one of the worst episodes in Premier League history. The best left back ever, outside of Dennis Irwin. So, like, and Ashley Cole. I said that. Calm down, David.
No, you know, it was the noise when people forget Ashley Cole. You put Dennis Irwin above.
Bro, your Wi-Fi
is bugging.
Your Wi-Fi's gone crazy.
But Terry. When you look at their signings, like Jesus coming from the City team that we all praise for winning the league without a striker. All of a sudden, Jesus is going to fire them like top 4, probably even 3rd. Right. I like Zinchenko, to be fair, but like, again, he's coming from a City team that we praised for not having a left back and winning the league. And that Fabio Silva guy that they signed, who has actually watched him to say that he's good enough?
By that logic, you guys shouldn't have signed Didier Drogba.
But nobody's gonna say that we're gonna win the league before we sign Didier Drogba.
I understand. No one's saying Arsenal are going to win the league. I just think that right now, as it stands, I think they're coming 3rd. Okay. But if you guys sign more players, if you guys improve on some other areas, I might change my mind.
I think people.
I think even Chelsea's squad right now.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll finish.
Yeah,
but that's our squad right now.
I don't
think
Terry has a different opinion. Terry thinks
the thing is,
we know.
How is Cucurella and Koulibaly and Sterling not better than Koulibaly and Rudiger's arguable, but Cucurella's an upgrade on Alonso and Chilwell put together, and Sterling's an upgrade on Lukaku. Is Zinchenko that much upgrade on Tierney?
Until I see you scoring more goals, I can't predict you above Arsenal.
Okay, can you tell me what's the goal differential between Chelsea with such a poor front line and Arsenal last season?
I can't. I think your goal.
Oh, I'll tell you. You don't have to. You're up by 15.
Yeah, okay, up by 15, but I'm going by the way you ended the season for the last 3 or 4 months and what I saw through preseason going into now. Now, if you improve on that and you buy more players, I'm going to change my mind. I've already said that. But if everything remains as it is now, that's what I'm going with. And by the way, if you actually listen to what I said as well, I said between Arsenal in 3rd and Spurs in 5th, I'm talking 2 or 3 points. I think it's very close. I'm not talking about.
I don't think it'll be that close.
I'm not saying what Patrick and that have said, that Spurs are coming 3rd and they're going to be 10, 12 points in front of you and Arsenal. I've not said that. I don't think they're going to be light years in front of you.
I just think it'll be that close. I think the only way it becomes that close is if we forfeit the last few games or so to win the Champions League.
Question for Terry and everyone else, yeah.
No.
So I'd be right there, wouldn't I?
It's not about getting Fofana or any. For me,
he's saying that if we get Fofana and De Jong, he'll elevate our position in the table. So I'm going to ask him if we were to get Fofana and De Jong, do we go from behind Arsenal to we're going to close the gap on City and Liverpool?
Yes.
Because are you saying right now then that right now we're going to be further, we're going to be as the same distance?
By the way, I think Spurs and Chelsea and Arsenal are all going to close the gap on City and Liverpool.
Okay, that makes sense.
So this is the problem with predictions is people look at it like when you say Spurs behind Chelsea, they go, if it was shit. No, I think you're all going to be brilliant. The only team in the top 6 I'm predicted to be not great this year. It's my team. They're the only ones.
Terry, please don't do don't do that about United. I think you guys are in this top 4 race.
Look,
maybe, and if you're right,
my question that I've been trying to ask before that the guy with the glasses keep interrupting me. My question is:
all right,
do you give the manager anything? Like for some reason, this sport became, it's about the quality that players come bringing in. When did this sport became it's about quality and nothing about the manager?
Of course,
that's my question.
Of course, the manager plays a part. Quality plays a part. History plays a part. Recent history plays a part. It's all an element of it. That all these things get played in. The reason why I'm saying Spurs 5th is because I'm not removing the Spursy factor. I can't. I'm not removing it from. I think Chelsea are going to go to another level this year. I think Arsenal are going to go to a massive level. I think Arsenal are going to accelerate so quickly. We're all going to be shocked. I really do. By the way,
I literally think that Arsenal going to start.
By the way, if Arsenal last year, everyone predicted 8th again, and they nearly got 4th, which is 4 places better than everybody expected them to be.
And they nearly got the 8th again at the end of the season. But
yeah, people overplay that 1 game a week thing. So listen, I've heard it.
You don't.
I've heard it spun both ways. I've heard it spun that it's better to play 1 game a week because you can be more consistent. I've heard that, well, actually, you don't get as much game time. You don't rotate as much. Your reserve players are a little bit less fresh. I don't really buy into any of that. Same as I don't buy into that nonsense of Thursday, Sunday.
Do you think Zinchenko is a good left back?
Zinchenko
is a good left back.
A very good football player.
Yes, agree. Do you think him or that guy from what's his name, the whatever the guy is named, that left back, that starter for Arsenal?
Tierney.
Tierney. Do you think Tierney is better than Zinchenko for that position?
Defensively, probably, yes.
Yeah. So my question is, for example, if he goes to the Europe and he gets hurt, Zinchenko is going to be there for good. Did you see what happened to him yesterday?
Yeah, I get that.
It's a drop.
I get that. But I've also,
but again, that's also one game. That's also one game. Same way we're saying it's one game.
I've seen Reece James, who I think is brilliant, get served up in some games. Like this happens to people. We focus too much on one performance, one game, and that's it. That's the end result. That's how we're going to judge a player for the rest of his career. It's crazy to me. But listen, boys, great conversation, great talk. Viewers, thank you very, very much for tuning in. I've got to go get some Chinese food because I'm very hungry. My people, thank you very much. Make sure you smash the like button before you leave. You subscribe. We're back tomorrow. Match reactions to Man United versus Brighton. Oh, I'm dreading it. West Ham versus Man City as well. Make sure you're tuning in. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Big respect to you.